I woke up choking on the silk sheets of my old bed in our cramped Brooklyn apartment. The kind with fire escapes that rattled like skeletons in the wind. My hands flew to my throat, expecting the crush of those final moments, the cold tile of the rooftop, the push from behind, the sickening plummet as the Hudson River rushed up to swallow me whole. But there was no water in my lungs, no snap of bones. Just the faint hum of traffic outside and the date on my phone, June 15th, 2023. 3 months before she killed me. My twin sister, Riley, had always been the shadow that looked just like me, Kenzie Harper. The good one. The reliable one. The one who actually earned her spot at Columbia Law while she partied her way through community college dropouts. We'd shared everything growing up in that rundown Queens row house. Clothes, secrets, even boyfriends in high school when we'd swap stories to mess with them. But that night on the rooftop, after I'd confronted her about the forged emails, making it look like I'd embezzled from the firm, she'd smiled that identical smile of ours and said, "You always were too trusting, sis." Then the shove. The fall. And in the water, as my vision blurred to black, I saw her face hovering above, lit by the city lights, already dialing 911 to play the grieving sister. Now, here I was, back in my body at 28, heart pounding like a jackhammer, staring at the ceiling fan that still clicked like it did back then. Reborn? Tricked by some cosmic joke? I didn't care. The universe had handed me a do-over, and Riley was going to pay. Not with fists or screams, that was her style. No. I'd let her dig her own grave, one glittering invitation at a time. She'd stolen my life once. This time, I'd watch her build it on quicksand. I sat up, the summer heat already sticky against my skin, and grabbed my laptop. The first email from the firm was there. Unopened, urgent, discrepancy in Harper accounts. It was the bait she'd planted, the one that would lead to my suicide in her narrative. I deleted it without a second thought. Then I texted Riley morning. "Twin, coffee run? Miss you." Her reply buzzed back instantly. "OMG, yes. You're the best." "Brunch instead? Tell me about that hot date with Alex last night." Alex. My fiancé. The one she'd start sleeping with next month, whispering in his ear that I was distant, stressed, not myself. By September, he'd believe her lies. Propose to her on that same rooftop, irony she couldn't resist, and I'd walk in on the mid-kiss. The final straw before she pushed me off. But not this time. This time, I'd smile through it all. Let her think she was winning. And when she least expected it, I'd pull the rug out from under her Louboutins. Brunch was at our usual spot, a hole-in-the-wall diner on Flatbush with greasy eggs and waitresses who called you hon. Riley breezed in 5 minutes late. Her blonde waves, exact mirror of mine, tossed like she'd just stepped off a photo shoot. She was wearing my favorite sundress, the one I'd bought for that weekend getaway with Alex in the Hamptons that never happened because she borrowed it and returned it stained with what she claimed was ketchup from a hot dog cart. "Kenzie, you look amazing," she gushed, air-kissing my cheeks before sliding into the booth. Her eyes flicked over me, always assessing, always comparing. We were identical twins, down to the freckle on our left collarbone. But she'd always insisted she was the fun one, the one with the spark. I was the boring lawyer, grinding away at Goldstein and Pierce while she bounced between influencer gigs and entrepreneurial ventures that mostly involved my couch and my Netflix password. We ordered avocado toast for me, pancakes drowning in syrup for her, and she launched into her latest drama, some guy from Tinder who'd ghosted her after she, accidentally, sent him a nude that wasn't meant for him. I nodded, laughed in all the right places. But inside, my mind was a steel trap snapping shut. Last life, I'd confided in her about Alex. How he'd surprised me with tickets to Paris for our engagement trip. She'd filed that away like a post-it note. Steal this too. So, spill, she said, leaning in with that conspiratorial grin. Alex. Is he popping the question soon? You've been together. What? 2 years? Time to lock that down before he realizes you're all work and no play. I forced a blush, twirling my fork. God. Riley, you're terrible. But. Yeah, I think so. He's been hinting. Lie number 1. In this timeline, I'd nudge things along myself. Make her think the wedding was my dream. Feed her the details she'd crave. Her eyes lit up like she'd just unwrapped a Birkin. Oh my God. Yes, we have to plan this. Destination? Vineyard? Beach? Tell me everything. Beach, I said casually, sipping my mimosa. But intimate. Montauk. Maybe. Under $5,000 total. I watched her face fall for a split second. $5,000 was chump change to her fantasies, before she recovered with a pout. Babe, you deserve epic. Think bigger. Alex is loaded. Goldman Sachs doesn't mess around. Let me help. I know stylists, florists. We could make it Instagram gold. And there it was, the hook. Last time, I'd brushed her off, too buried in work. This time, I reeled her in. You know what? Yeah. Let's do it your way. But keep it secret, surprise him. By the end of brunch, she was sketching mood boards on her phone, cascading orchids, string lights over the ocean, a string quartet playing Ed Sheeran. I nodded along, my stomach twisting not with excitement, but with the cold thrill of anticipation. She thought she was inserting herself into my joy. She had no idea she was building her own pyre. The next few weeks blurred into a haze of planning sessions at my apartment, hers now. Technically, since she'd sublet mine after my death last time. Riley commandeered the living room. Pinterest boards exploding across the coffee table, venues in the Hamptons, photographers from Vogue, a cake designer who'd done Fiancé's afterparty. Alex was thrilled, oblivious as ever, kissing me goodnight with that boyish grin. Babe, this is gonna be perfect. Riley's got vision. Vision. Yeah. For forgery and fraud. Because buried under all this bridal bliss was the secret she'd been nursing since college. Riley had racked up $150,000 in student loans she never paid. Then borrowed my identity to apply for credit cards, maxing them out on designer hauls, and that boob job she swore was for confidence. I'd discovered it 6 months before the rooftop, confronted her, threatened to go to the cops. Her solution? Frame me for embezzling from the firm using those same forged docs. Then suicide to tie up loose ends. Insurance payout to her as beneficiary. My assets hers by default. Clean, if psychotic. But now, I was documenting everything. Screenshots of her emails to vendors, voice memos of her haggling prices she'd bill to my cards. And when she accidentally suggested using my social security for the deposit just to speed things up, sis, I smiled and said, genius. Do it. By August, the budget had ballooned to $100,000. Riley was in her element, schmoozing with a wedding planner named Tessa who wore kaftans and spoke in hashtags. Vision boards are so last season, Tessa drawled during our first meeting at a Soho cafe. We're talking experiential. Fire dancers on the beach at sunset. A drone light show spelling out Kenzie and Alex forever. Riley clapped like a seal.
Yes.
And the dress, Vera Wong.
Custom.
With a veiled train that could choke a bridesmaid. I laughed. But my mind flashed to the twist I was weaving. Alex's family was old money, wasps from Connecticut who hated ostentation. His mom, Evelyn, had already side-eyed the Pinterest links Riley sent. "Darling, is this necessary?" she'd emailed me. I replied, "Mom wants simple." But Riley insists. Planting seeds. The real bomb, though, the guest list. Riley was inviting everyone. Our estranged dad from Reno. High school mean girls turned influencers. Even that sleazy ex-boss of mine who'd groped me at the Christmas party. "It's your day," she cooed. Forgiveness vibes. What she meant was networking, using my name to schmooze connections she'd later poach. I let her. And started my own side hustle, anonymous tips to the credit bureaus about suspicious activity on my accounts. Not enough to alert her yet, just enough to make the news tighten. September hit like a freight train. The proposal happened on schedule, Alex on one knee at Le Bernardine. Ring from Tiffany's that cost more than my first car. Riley happened to be there, filming it for TikTok, with tears streaming. My sister's getting hitched. Twin goals wedding SCN. The video went viral, 500K views overnight. Brands started DMing her for collabs. All under my name. Kenzie Harper. Accidental influencer. But behind the scenes,
Cracks formed.
vendors called me for payments. Confused by Riley's verbal approvals. MS. Harper. The florists quoting $20,000 for peonies alone. I'd feign shock. That can't be right. Let me check with my planner. Then I'd forward the emails to Alex, who started frowning at the spreadsheets. "Babe, this is getting out of hand." We said $50,000 max. Riley overheard one call and cornered me in the kitchen. "Kenzie,
Chill.
it's your dream wedding. Trust me." Her eyes were hard. That twin intuition kicking in, she sensed something off. Like a shark smelling blood. "I do," I lied, hugging her tight. "You're saving me." October brought the dress fitting. Riley had booked La Bella Sposa in the garment district, the kind of place where mob wives shop. The consultant, a wiry Italian named Gino, draped silk over my frame while Riley circled like a vulture. "Tighter here, show off that waist. Alex will lose it." It was beautiful. Ivory lace with a plunging neckline that screamed runway. Not registry. But as I stared in the mirror, our reflections overlapped, her standing behind me, adjusting the train with fingers that had once pushed me to my death. "You look like a goddess," she whispered. For a second, I saw it, the flicker of envy, the what if she was me instead. That's when I dropped the first real bomb. "Riley, the firm's audit came back. They flagged some old charges on my card. Nothing big.
But
You didn't use it for that Vegas trip last year, did you?" Her hand stilled on the zipper.
what? No.
"That was yours. Remember? Girls' weekend." I turned, meeting her eyes in the glass.
Right.
"Just checking." "Love you." She laughed it off, but I saw the sweat bead on her temple. Game on. As fall leaves turned the parks to fire, the wedding machine revved higher. Riley quit her side hustle at a boutique, unpaid, naturally, to go full-time planner. She moved into my spare room to brainstorm, her clothes spilling into my closet like an invasion. Alex traveled for work. Oblivious. FaceTiming from London. Can't wait to see what you two witches have cooked up. Witches. Fitting. The budget hit $200,000 by Halloween. A haunted hayride save the date, party in Prospect Park, complete with custom invitations etched in gold leaf. I played along, posting stories of us giggling over swatches. But I was busy too, hiring a PI named Marco, ex-NYPD, to dig into Riley's past. He texted one night while she snored on the couch. Found it. Your sister's got a side account. Offshore. Transfers from your cards. Rerouted to Cayman. She's laundering through fake LLCs, Harper events. Amount, $87,000 so far. My hands shook as I forwarded it to my lawyer. A shark named Lena who'd handled my embarrassment case last life. Build the case quiet, I instructed. No moves till December. Riley's scheming deepened. She started accidentally texting Alex flirty memes, signing them your future SIL Faceboonicus. When I confronted her, gently, like a sister would, she batted lashes. Just keeping him excited. You're so lucky. Lucky.
Yeah.
November's chill brought venue drama. The Hamptons estate we'd booked, actually a contact of Tessa's, demanded a $50,000 deposit wired immediately. Riley handled it, using a new card in my name she'd applied for online, forging my signature with a scan of my driver's license. Marco caught the IP, her phone. I let it slide. Instead, I escalated, whispered to Evelyn about budget overruns and Riley's enthusiasm. Evelyn, ever the ice queen, replied, Darling, we'll cover what we must. But this extravagance. The family rift widened. Alex's sister, Brooke, a trust fund yoga instructor, pulled me aside at Thanksgiving dinner in Connecticut. Kenzie, is Riley okay? She keeps asking about Dad's will.
Like,
Probing. Our dad, alcoholic mechanic who'd split when we were 10, had a small life insurance policy. Beneficiary us both. Last life. Riley had forged my signature to cash it solo after my death. $40,000. Gone to her Botox fund. She's stressed, I said, patting Brooke's hand. Wedding fever. But the seed sprouted. Whispers at the table. Twins are tricky. One's always the favorite. Riley sensed the chill. Cornered me in the powder room. What's with the cold shoulder? I thought we were Team Harper. We are, I said, reapplying lipstick. Always. By December, the total was $250,000. Riley was a whirlwind. Fittings for bridesmaids, herself included, as maid of honor. Tastings for a 7-course menu with a raw oyster bar. She even booked a celebrity officiant, a B-list actor from that Netflix rom-com, who cost $15,000 just to show up sober. I watched it all. A ghost in my own life. Nodding approval while Marco's reports piled up. The fraud trail led back to college. Riley had impersonated me for scholarships, internships. Even our high school counselor, her alias, faking recommendations to get me blackballed from Ivies so she could step up. The hidden secret wasn't just money. It was identity theft on steroids. She'd been me for years in the shadows, auditioning for my roles. And the rooftop? Not impulse.
planned.
She'd researched accidental falls on dark web forums, timed it for low tide when bodies surface low. Christmas Eve, she threw a bridal shower at my place, actually hers now, with my stuffed pawn for decor. Guests, influencers she'd met online. Toasting with view she'd charged to the firm card. Alex was in Tokyo. So it was girls' night, penis straws. A male stripper who looked like Channing Tatum's sad cousin. Riley pulled me aside mid-cake cutting. Eyes glassy from rose. Kenzie, this is it. Your fairy tale.
But
What if it was mine? Just once. The room spun. Was this the wine? Or her cracking? What do you mean? She laughed. Too loud.
kidding. God.
You're so serious. To us, eternal twins.
Clink.
I smiled. But inside, resolve hardened. The wedding was January 15th. 2 weeks. Time to light the fuse. New Year's Eve. I dropped the PI report on Alex's lap via secure Dropbox. Read this. Then call me.
He did.
At midnight. Voice breaking over the line from Tokyo. Kenzie. What the fuck? Your sister? Our wedding. Sure. I whispered. Fireworks popping outside. Let it play out. Trust me.
He did.
Hooked. Just like Riley. The final sprint to the altar was chaos. Riley micromanaged rehearsals at the estate, snow-dusted lawns. Heaters blasting against the winter bite. She argued with the caterer over lobster thermidor. Make it ethical, vegan option? No? Fine. Double the foie gras. Snapped at the florist for cheesy roses. Vendors whispered to me, your planner's a nightmare. I soothed them. Paid deposits from a slush fund I'd set up, untraceable to her. Total now, $300,000. The number burned in my brain like a brand. Evelyn arrived early, sweeping in like a Chanel hurricane. Kenzie, darling, I've spoken to Alexander. This.
Spectac.
It's off. Riley overheard. Stormed up. With all due respect, Mrs. Whitmore. It's Kenzie's vision. Evelyn's lip curled. Is it? Or yours? Dear. The air crackled. Riley's face went sheet white. Then flushed crimson. Excuse me? I stepped in. Hand on Riley's arm, gentle.
Sisterly. Mom. Please.
It's fine. But it wasn't. That night, alone in the bridal suite, Riley cornered me. What the hell? Kenzie? Are you turning them against me? Paranoia much? I said, slipping into my robe. It's stress. Her eyes narrowed. That twin stare boring in. You're different. Since summer. Like you know something. I met it. Unflinching. I know everything. She blinked. Laughed nervously. Creepy. Get some sleep. Big day tomorrow. The wedding dawned crisp and clear. January 15th. Montauk glittered under a rare winter sun. The estate transformed, white tents billowing like sails. Ice sculptures of swans melting into punch bowls. Guests milled 300 strong. From Alex's Wall Street bros to Riley's influencer squad snapping reels. The string quartet sawed through Pachelbel's canon as I walked the aisle. Veil whispering over snow-kissed grass. Alex waiting in his tailored tux. Eyes shining. Riley, radiant in emerald silk as maid of honor, handed me the bouquet with a wink. Slay. Sis. The ceremony blurred. Vows exchanged. Rings slipped on. The officiants drone about eternal bonds. Then the kiss, Alex's lips warm, tasting of mint and promise. Cheers erupted. Champagne popped. The reception tent was a fever dream, chandeliers dripping crystals, tables groaning under caviar and truffle risotto. The drone show lit the sky, Kenzie and Alex forever in twinkling lights, while fire dancers twirled on the beach, flames licking the dusk. Riley was everywhere, toasting with a best man, Alex's frat brother, whom she'd flirted with shamelessly, posing for photos, even leading the electric slide on the dance floor. I watched from the head table, nursing a flute, as Marco slipped me a final envelope under the tablecloth. Wire transfers confirmed. FBI tipped. They're en route. Alex squeezed my hand. Ready, more than ever. The cake cutting came at 9 p.m., a 7-tier monstrosity. Fondant roses cascading like bloodless wounds. Riley emceed, mic in hand. To my sister, the bride, may your marriage be as sweet as this diabetes bomb. Laughter rippled. Then, as the knife sliced, sirens wailed in the distance. Heads turned. Riley faltered, smile cracking. Probably just Coastal Patrol. But the cruisers pulled up the drive, lights flashing blue-red against the snow. Agents in windbreakers swarmed the tent, FBI, badges gleaming. Riley Harper, you're under arrest for identity theft, wire fraud, and conspiracy to commit murder. Gasps sucked the air from the room. Riley dropped the mic with a thud. What? This is insane. Kenzie, tell them. I stood, veil tossed back, facing her across the cake's ruins. Tell them what? Riley? That you forged my SIG on $300,000 in charges? That you impersonated me for years? Or that you pushed me off a roof in another life, when you're about to relive in a cell? The tent froze. Alex's arm around me. Evelyn's gasp. Brooke's wide eyes. Riley's face crumpled, then twisted rage. Betrayal. That identical fury mirroring mine from the rooftop. You bitch. This was mine. You are nothing without me. Agents cuffed her, reading rights as she spat venom. She's lying. Twins, we share everything. Not anymore, I said softly, as they led her away. The guests blurred into murmurs. Phones out. The scandal already viral. But the twist? As they loaded her into the cruiser, she twisted, shouting over the whine of engines. You think you won? Check the cake. My blood iced. The top tier, hollowed?
No.
But Marco's report. One more thing.
Poison? No.
But the caterer's short-staffed. Riley swapped the labels. Nut allergy. Kenzie. On every shrimp cocktail. Alex yanked me back from the past apps I'd nibbled. An EpiPen jab. Ambulance lights joining the fray. Not death, just a swelling throat. Hives. The works. Her final fuck you. Make me the center of chaos. The almost tragic bride. In the ER. Monitors beeping. Alex holding my hand. How did you know? About all of it. I smiled weakly. The antihistamine fogging edges. I died once. Alex. She killed me. This time. I came back. He stared. Then kissed my knuckles. Then marry me for real. Small. Us. Riley's trial was a media circus. Twin scandal. Bride's revenge. Splashed across TMZ. Page 6 devouring the fraud counts. The rooftop forensics. I'd planted doubts with cold case tips. She pled out. 15 years. Restitution tripled. The wedding vendors sued the estate. Insurance clawed back the $300,000 as fraud. We got a quiet courthouse do-over in February. Just family, Evelyn thawing with a pearl necklace, Brooke toasting to survivors. But the real end? A letter from Riley in Sing Sing. 6 months later. You always were the smart one. But in here, I'm free. No more pretending. Wish I could say the same for you. Stuck with him? Pathetic.
Love.
Your better half. I burned it. Reborn. Revenged. But the mirror still showed her ghost. Twins forever, curse or gift. I'd take the win.
No.
Wait, that wasn't the end. Burning the letter was cathartic. Sure. The flames licking up her looping script like they could erase the years she'd leached off me. But Rebirth isn't a tidy reboot. It's a glitchy app. Notifications pinging from the past you thought you deleted. 3 months post-trial. As spring thawed Brooklyn's brownstones and Alex and I settled into our real-life, tiny one-bedroom in Williamsburg. Takeout Thai on Fridays, I started noticing the echoes. It began with dreams. Not the falling ones. The plummet into the Hudson that woke me gasping. These were sharper, Riley's laugh in empty rooms. Her perfume, Chanel No. 5 knockoff, wafting from vents. Then the calls. Unknown numbers. Voicemails in disguised voices. You think it's over. Kenzie? She's got friends.
Click.
Paranoia? Maybe. But Marco, bless his chain-smoking soul, confirmed it. Your sister's pen pals are active. Inmate network. Some low-level hackers she met through those fake LLCs. They're sniffing around your digital footprint. My digital footprint. God, what a joke. In the old timeline, it was pristine, LinkedIn gold, law review articles. That one viral TEDx talk on ethical AI and corporate law that got me headhunted.
Now?
Tainted. Post-arrest. The headlines lingered. Twin fraudster frames sister for suicide plot, and clients ghosted Goldstein and Pierce. Partners pulled me into glass-walled offices. Take some time. Kenzie. Rebuild the brand. Rebuild. Like I was the one who'd torched it. Alex tried. God. He tried. Nights rubbing my feet after double shifts at a temp gig. Weekends hiking the Palisades to clear the head. He was solid. That all-American quarterback vibe from his Yale days. But crack showed. Babe. Maybe therapy?
For the...
You know. The dying thing. The dying thing. I laughed it off. But inside, a chasm. How do you explain to your husband that you remember a life where he mourned you at a closed casket service? Then fucked your twin on the anniversary? I'm fine, I'd say.
Kissing his jaw.
Just wedding pee. But Riley's shadow stretched. One rainy April afternoon, browsing Etsy for nothing habit, killing time, I stumbled on a listing, custom twin portraits. For estranged sisters, reconciliation vibes. The seller? At Riley Harper Art. Impossible. But the bio, from behind bars, sketching dreams. Commissions open via proxy.
Proxy.
Marco traced it. Her prison-issued tablet. Smuggled access through a guard's niece. She was monetizing the scandal. Selling twin agony merch. Etchings of us back to back. One haloed. One horned. $500 a pop. Shipped from a P.O. box in Queens. I bought one. Not for keeps, for proof. The package arrived in plain wrap. The drawing exquisite. Our faces intertwined. Mine serene. Hers smirking. A noose of lace veiling us both. Note tucked inside. Miss the planning? Round 2? XOXO. Rage boiled. But smarter this time. I forwarded to her P.O. Lena, add obstruction of justice?
She did.
Another year tacked on Riley's sentence. Small victory, but it fueled me. I quit temping. Enrolled in night classes for a cybersecurity cert, ironic. Armoring myself against the thief who'd stripped me bare. Alex beamed at graduation. My hacker wife. Hot. Summer sizzled in. Fireflies in McCarran Park. And that's when the real twist dropped. A knock at 2 a.m. Alex snoring beside me. I cracked the door, chain-latched, to a woman in a trench coat, mid-40s. Sharp bob. Eyes like chipped flint. Kenzie Harper? Evelyn Whitmore sent me. Name's Carla Voss. Private investigator. Evelyn? Alex's mom, who'd warmed post-scandal, baking lemon bars like apologies. But P.I.? What's this about? Carla glanced over her shoulder. Rain-slick streets empty. Your sister. She's not working alone. Never was. That offshore account? Tied to a bigger fish. Your dad's old crew from the shop, mechanics turned chop shop runners. Riley's been funneling for them since 18. Identity theft was the appetizer. Dad's crew. The greasy ghosts from our queen's childhood. Men with union tattoos and side hustles that explained the cash baggies he'd hide in the fridge. I'd thought Riley's crime solo, desperate twin syndrome. But a ring? Why tell me now? She pulled a flash drive from her pocket. Because Evelyn's digging too. Alex's inheritance, trust funds exposed if this blows. And you're the key. Riley named you beneficiary on her assets, code for the slush. Claim it, and you own the evidence. I took the drive. Heart thumping. What's the catch? Carla's smile was thin. No catch. Just karma. Your twin. She's got a kid.
Boy. 5.
In foster care upstate. Daddy's chop shop money paid the sitter till it didn't. A kid. Riley's? Flashes. Her Vegas trips. The bloating she blamed on binge eating. Secret abortion? No, hidden life. My nephew? The words stuck like glass. I plugged in the drive at dawn. Alex still out. Files spilled. Ledgers. Wire logs. Photos of a towhead boy with Riley's smirk, playing in a dingy daycare. Foster reports. Mother incarcerated. Paternal unknown. Behavioral issues, attachment disorder. Guilt punch low. I'd ruined her. Not just revenge, but a child's anchor. Controversial? Hell yes. Was I the villain now? I confronted Evelyn at her Upper East Side area. Doorman nodding me up. She poured Earl Grey. Pearls clicking. Darling. I know. Carla's thorough. But Riley's poison. The boy's better off. Better off without family? I snapped. Like we were with Dad's crew?
She sighed.
Silk blouse whispering. Precisely. I pulled strings, adoption papers. Good home. Connecticut suburbs. Clean break. Adoption. My choice. Or hers. You can't just. I can. For Alexander. For you. Her eyes softened. Claim the assets. Kenzie. Shut it down. Be the hero. Hero. The word soured. Back home. I paced. Drive burning a hole in my laptop bag. Alex woke to my pacing. Babe, talk. I spilled the ring. The kid. Evelyn's play. He listened, jaw tight. Jesus. A nephew?
But.
Riley's kid? DNA test first.
We did.
Clinic on Madison. Swab results in 72 hours. 99.9% match. My blood. Our blood. The decision loomed, controversial as a Supreme Court leak. Take the boy, raise him in our bubble, teach him his mom's sins, or let Evelyn's machine whisk him to wasp bliss. Erasing the Harpers? Riley called, collect from prison. Voice tinny. Heard you found out. Cute.
Ha.
Little Rip, short for Ripley. Like the movie. Smart kid. Yours now.
How?
I hissed. Alex listening on speaker. She chuckled. Beneficiary. Remember? Claimed it all. Even told the social worker you'd be perfect, Andy. Do it.
Kenzie.
Or let him rot. Your call. The line died. I stared at the phone. Then the nursery we'd half-painted, neutral yellow. On a whim post-wedding. We could, Alex said softly. Be dads.
Dads.
Plural. The future we'd whispered about. Now tangled in revenge's thorns. I chose messy. Sign the papers. Flew upstate. Rip, real name Riley Jr. All gangly limbs and wary eyes, met us in a CPS office smelling of bleach and despair. You my new moms? He asked. Backpack slung low. Alex knelt.
Nah. Kid.
Uncles? Dads? Whatever you want. He eyed me, twin echo in miniature. You look like the bad one in the pictures. My laugh broke. Sometimes. But we're trying good. Foster transition. 6 months of therapy. Court dates. Brooklyn chaos. Rip screamed nightmares. Mommy's gone. The cops took her, but mornings. He dragged me to the kitchen for twin pancakes, stacking them high like Riley's brunch towers. Alex taught him baseball in the park. Gloves swallowing tiny hands. Evelyn grumbled, spoiling the help, but sent checks.
Grudging.
The chop shop ring? Carla, and the feds rolled it up that fall. Busts in 3 states. Headlines screaming twins takedown exposes auto fraud empire. Dad's old crew scattered. Assets seized. Laundered cash funneled to victim funds. Mine included $200K. Enough for a brownstone down payment. Rip's college fund. Riley wrote again. Post-bust. Proud of you.
Sis.
Raised my boy right. Maybe next life. I steal better. I framed it. Hung in the attic. Not forgiveness, reminder. By Christmas, our first is 3. Snow blanketing the stoop. Rip strung lights with tongue out. Alex carved the turkey. Me pouring eggnog. To do-overs, he toasted. Rip clinked his mug. To twins. Even the crazy ones. I smiled. The chasm filled, not sealed, but bridged. Reborn.
Yes.
But revenge? It circled back. A wedding of fates. Happy? Close enough. Or was it? That night, as stars pricked the skyline, a text buzzed unknown. She's out in 10. Parole hearing. Watch your back.
Kenzie.
The glitch persisted. But this time, I had backup. And a kid who needed me whole. Parole. The word hung like smoke after a fire you'd thought extinguished. 10 years shaved off Riley's sentence. Good behavior. Therapy logs. That silver-tongued lawyer the chop shop crew had bankrolled before the bust. I read the notice in February. Snow still crusting the fire escapes. Rip building Lego empires on the living room rug. What's parole? He asked. Not looking up. At 7 now. Sharp as a switchblade. He'd absorbed the edges of our story from therapy puppets and whispered bedtime truths. Like. Early homework pass, I said. Forcing casual. Bad guys out sooner. He nodded, snapping a tower into place. Will she come for my Legos? Alex, flipping pancakes in the kitchen, shot me a look. We hadn't hidden much. Age appropriate. The counselor said. Trauma bonds heal with honesty. But Riley's shadow? That was mine to wrestle. No, I lied. Legos are safe. But were they? Marco's updates painted a picture. Riley released to a halfway house in Yonkers. Job at a thrift store, ironic. Peddling cast-offs. Court-mandated AA meetings. She's clean, he grunted over coffee at a diner off the Bruckner. No priors post-prison. But twins. Blood calls.
Blood. It did.
First ping. A Facebook friend request. At Riley Harperreal. Profile pic her in prison khakis. Smirking. I accepted. Watched her posts. Grateful for second chances, redemption arc, twin flame. Subtle jabs. Throwback to our childhood beach trip. Caption missed the waves. Sis? Rip saw it. Zoomed in. She looks like you. Creepy. Jeans, I muttered. Blocking her. But the dreams ramped. Rooftops. Not falling but balancing. Riley's hand outstretched, not pushing, pulling. Join me. Spring bloomed treacherous. Evelyn invited us to Easter brunch. Her spread, lamb crown. Mimosas in crystal. Brooke cooed over Rip, braiding his hair with ribbons. But post-meal, as kids hunted eggs on the lawn, Evelyn pulled me to the sunroom. She's petitioning for visitation. With the boy. My fork clattered.
What? No.
Lena shut that down. Evelyn's martini glass sweated. Money talks. Darling. Her thrift gig? Funded by sympathizers. And Alexander's firm? They're interested in her story for a docuseries. Redemption narrative sells. Alex's firm, Goldman, where climbing meant stepping on necks. Over my dead body, she arched a brow. Again?
Touché.
I stormed out, Rip in tow, but the seed rooted. Visitation. Riley with my kid, our kid, repeating cycles? Alex mediated that night. Wine poured thick. We fight it. Full custody's ironclad. But if she pushes? Rip asleep upstairs. His baseball bat by the bed, for monsters. Then we move.
Portland.
Fresh start.
Move.
Uproot the brownstone we'd scraped for. Rip's school with the art teacher who got his angry scribbles. Controversial again. Stability versus
Safety.
I chose fight. Court date loomed in May. Family division in Manhattan. Air thick with bleach and bad cologne. Riley arrived in a sundress, my old one. Thrift score. Hair in a ponytail. No makeup. Reformed. Her lawyer, a slick weasel named Hargrove, painted her as victim. Institutionalized injustice. Mother seeking amends. Lena shredded it. Psych evals. Fraud timelines. The rooftop blueprints she'd printed from prison IP. MS. Harper attempted murder. This isn't amends, it's access. Judge, a grizzled woman with glasses like half-moons eyed Riley. Ma'am, your son's well-adjusted. Why now? Riley's voice cracked. First real tremor I'd heard. I lost everything. Him most. I was sick. Jealous. but therapy fixed me. I just want to say sorry.
Sorry.
The word echoed, hollow as the wedding tent after the bust. Rip waited outside with Alex, drawing on a notepad. When I emerged, he looked up. Did the bad twin win?
No. Buddy.
Team us. But win sour. That night, a package on the stoop, no return address. Brown paper crinkling. Inside, a locket. Our childhood one, split hearts. Mine with AK. Hers are. Engraved inside, blood in, blood out. See you soon.
Stalker vibes.
I called Carla Voss, Evelyn's PI. Now on retainer.
Track it, I said.
She did, postmark from a bodega 2 blocks from the halfway house. Riley's haunt. Confrontation brewed. Against Lena's advice, let the order stand, I drove to Yonkers that June dusk. Traffic snarling over the bridge. The halfway house squatted on a weedy lot, chain link rattling. Riley buzzed me in. Common room smelling of microwave popcorn and regret. She sat at a plastic table. Puzzle half done, ocean scene, waves mocking. Kenzie. No twin hug. Just a nod. Thinner. Lines etched around eyes that still mirrored mine. Knew you'd come. The locket. Stop. She shrugged. Keepsake. Thought Rip might like. Riley. Save the lecture. I get it. You won. Hot hubby. Perfect kid. Brownstone dream. Bitterness curled her lip. But he's mine too. DNA don't lie. Neither does attempted murder. Harsh. But true. We stared. Puzzles forgotten. Then, crack. I didn't mean the push.
It was. Heat.
You had everything. Law degree. Alex's ring. I was drowning debts. Dad's mess. One slip. One slip? You planned it. Marco's files burned in my bag. She leaned in, voice low. Okay.
Fine. Planned.
But the kid? That was real. Vegas wasn't trips, it was hiding him. From the crew. You think I wanted this? Jail mom. Pity flickered, controversial. Lethal. Then why the fraud? The wedding. Her laugh barked. The wedding? That was you. Sis. You dangled it. Help plan. I saw the out, your cards, your name. Easy score. Till you flipped the script. I had. Rebirth's gift. And now, visitation for leverage.
No.
Eyes wet. For him. Teach him he's not monster spawn. Monster. Echo of Rip's words. I stood, chair scraping. Stay away. Or I bury you deeper. Driving back. Triborough lights blurring. Doubt gnawed. Was she playing or broken? Summer deepened the divide. Rip's birthday, 8. Minecraft theme, party in the park. Kids swarming piñata. But mid-cake. A shadow. Riley at the edge. Sundress flapping. Holding a wrapped gift. Surprise. Alex tensed. Hand on my arm. Cops? No, parole rules. Supervised. She'd petitioned emergency. Hargrove strings. Rip spotted her.
Froze.
Mommy, world tilted. She knelt. Gift extended, a puzzle. Ocean waves. Hey.
Champ.
Happy birthday. He took it. Wary. Then hugged brief. Bone crush. You like puzzles? Love M. Like your auntie.
Auntie. Me.
The hug ended. She stood. Eyes on me. Truce. For Rip? Controversial yes. I nodded. Throat tight. Supervised. Always. The visitation started. Park benches. Zoo trips. Me and Alex chaperoning like hawks. Riley was.
Good.
Brought puzzles. Read truck books in that animated voice we'd shared as kids. Rip bloomed, asked for her recipes. Her stories sanitized. Mommy was sick. Got better. But nights. He'd wake screaming, "Don't steal her."
Steal.
The cycle. Fall brought the docuseries pitch, Netflix. 6 eps. Twins of deceit. Alex's firm exec cornered him at a gala. Your wife's angle? Gold. Produce credit. He declined, but the buzz hummed. Paparazzi staked our block. Flashes popping like gunfire. Rip hid in closets. I lawyered up. Injunctions flying. Riley called. Unsupervised line. Violation. They're offering me $50K. For the truth. Which truth? Your version?
Ours. Pause.
Kenzie. The crew? Not all busted. Dad's old partner, Vinny. He's out.
Pissed.
Blames you for the heat. Vinny. Greasy memory. Candy from his shop. Winking too long. What does he want?
You.
The assets. Says you stole his cut. Threat veiled. I hung up. Called Carla. Stakeout. Vinny's crew circling the halfway house. Not Riley protecting or pressuring. Climax brewed Thanksgiving. Family dinner at Evelyn's. Truce table. Turkey stuffed tents. Rip chattered about school play, him as a pirate. Fitting. Then doorbell. Riley. Uninvited. Pie in hands. Heard the boys in Peter Pan. Thought I'd watch rehearsal. Evelyn bristled. Alex stood. But Rip beamed. Mommy. Sit.
She did.
Dinner thawed, stories swapped. Riley's thrift tales met with Brooke's yoga riffs. But under table. Her foot nudged mine twin code. Bathroom break. She cornered me. Vin's coming. Tonight. For the drive copy, the ledgers. Hand it over. Or he takes Rip. Blackmail.
Heart slammed.
You set this. No. He's crazy. But I can talk him down. If you give. Controversial calculus. Betray the Fed's evidence. Save my family or call bluff. Risk all? I chose gray. Slipped her USB dummy files. Planted trackers.
Take it.
End this. She pocketed it. Eyes grateful. Thanks.
Sis.
We're even. But as pie sliced. Sirens wailed. Carla's tip-off. Vinny's been idling down the block. Nabbed red-handed. Riley's face paled. You played me. Learned from the best. Cuffs on her again. Probation violation. Aiding. But as they let her out, she twisted. The series? It's greenlit. And I sold your story. The rebirth bit. From your emails. Emails?
Hacked?
The glitch, my old laptop. Unsecured. Twist, my secret exposed. Tabloids tomorrow. Bride's paranoid delusions. World spun. But Rip hugged her legs. Don't go. Mommy. She knelt. Tears real. Be good for Auntie. She's the strong one. Prison van doors slammed. Evelyn poured brandy. Well handled.
Was it?
The docuseries dropped episodes weekly, sensational slop. My delusions the punchline. Public snickered, job offers dried. But Alex? Screw him. We're us. Winter wrapped us tight. Rip's play. He slayed as pirate. Me in front row. Applauding through tears. Backstage. His arms around me. You're my favorite twin. Favorited. The win.
Yet.
As snow fell. A final letter, Riley's. From solitary. You got the boy. The life.
But the twist?
He's mine in ways you can't touch. Blood whispers. Watch him close.
Love. R.
I burned it again. Reborn. Revenged. But the story looped, eternal. Like us. Loops break. Or so I told myself that spring. Cherry blossoms choking the East River paths as Rip and I jogged, his lanky stride matching mine. Training for the 5th grade fun run. 9 now. All elbows and attitude. He'd outgrown the nightmares, but not the questions. Andy, Mom, why'd she send the pirate hat from jail? It's too small. Jail mail. Filtered through Lena's office. Trinkets. Drawings. Notes in code only twins decode. The hat, reference to his play, but sized for his 5-year-old self, taunt or nostalgia. She misses you, I said, dodging a jogger. That's all. He snorted. Ponytail flopping, phase, skater boy chic. Mrs. stealing stuff. Like my old bike.
Bikes.
Last summer's theft, chained outside the bodega. Gone overnight. Marco blamed neighborhood kids. I suspected Riley's sympathizers, lowlifes orbiting her orbit. But proof?
Nil.
The loop tightened. Alex thrived amid chaos, promoted to VP. Suits sharper. But home? Still our anchor. Grilling burgers on the tiny deck, mediating Rip's teen preview tantrums. Babe, he'd murmur post-bedtime. Wine warming our bones. The series tanked. Public's bored. Let it go. The docuseries, twins of deceit, had fizzled after 3 eps. Critics calling it trashy lifetime reject. My rebirth delusion? Meme fodder. Then forgotten. But scars lingered. Trust issues with clients. I freelance cyber audits now. Ironic armor. Evelyn's check-ins laced with I told you so's. And Vinny's crew? Scattered. But whispers of regroup. Auto thefts spiking in Queens. Dad's old turf. Summer scorched. Heat waves warping the skyline. Rip's camp, coding at NYU. My Alma brought a call one July afternoon. Counselor? Voice tight. MS. Harper, your son's missing. Hour ago. Bathroom break. We searched.
Missing.
World grade. I bolted. Alex en route from Midtown. Campus swarmed. Cops. K-9 units. Flyers printing. Rip's backpack found by a dumpster. Contents. Legos. Inhaler. Asthma inheritance. Riley's too. Note pinned. Twin trade. Yonkers warehouse.
Come alone. R.
Riley. Out again? Parole revoked post-Vinny. But hacks knew no bars. I drove. Solo against orders. Controversial. Suicidal. Warehouse loomed on the river. Rust bucket relic. Hudson lapping like old sins. Inside, dim. Crates stacked like tombstones. Flashlight beam caught her. Riley. Leaner. Tattoo creeping up her neck. Prison ink. Wave. Crashing. Beside her. Rip bound to a chair. Gagged but eyes fierce. Kenzie, she purred. Punctual. You bitch. Gun? No, hers. Snub nose from the crew. Pointed loose. But real. Language. Nephew's present. She nudged Rip, he glared. Vin's boys lifted him. Blame game. You ratted the last stash. Want it back? Fork the assets.
All.
Assets. The seized funds I'd funneled to Rip's future, college. Therapy. Normalcy.
Take it.
Just let him go. She circled. Gun tracing air.
Nah.
Bigger play. The rebirth crap? I sold it to a podcaster. But they want proof. Your story. On tape. Admit it, the fall. The do-over. Or he sees the river up close. Twist upon twist. My secret. Weaponized. Rip whimpered. I knelt. It's okay.
Buddy.
Close eyes. Riley laughed. Heroic. Like me on the rooftop? Wait, irony. Flashback. Her push. My gasp.
But now?
Reversed.
Why?
Riley, we had truce. Truce. Snort. You stole my kid. My redo. Blood's debt. Controversial core. She believed it. Jealousy inverted. Me the thief now. Gun raised. Tape or swim time. I stood slow. Palms up.
Fine. Talk.
But truth, you killed me.
Planned.
For money.
Spite.
I came back to end you. Her finger whitened on trigger.
Lies.
Door crashed. Alex. Marco. SWAT swarm. Tip off. My phone. Location shared pre-drive. Betrayal reversed. A chaos. Shouts. Tackles. Riley fought. Nails raking. But cuffed. Screaming. He's mine. The loop. It's us. Rip freed. Buried in Alex's arms. Medics checked him. Scratches.
Shock.
Riley hauled to van. Eyes locking mine through rain-streaked glass. See? Eternal. Charges piled. Kidnapping. Extortion. Life sentence this time, no parole. Vinny's remnants rolled up. Warehouse raid netted ledgers. Guns. A ledger of grudges. Fall healed slow. Rip's therapy ramped. Art class. Where he drew us. 3 figures. Me and Alex flanking him. Riley a shadow wave. She's gone now, he said. Crayon snapping. For real. For real. Hug tight. Winter whispered peace. Christmas. Tree strung with puzzles, Rip's idea. Evelyn gifting stocks. For the boys' empire. Alex proposed again, vows renewed. Quiet courthouse. Rip ring bearer in a tiny tux. But the final twist? Spring bloom. A letter, not burned.
Read.
Riley's. From Max, you won the loop.
But Rip dreams me.
Blood calls. Teach him swim. Don't let him sink. Forgive?
Nah.
But thanks for the ride. Your shadow. I framed it. Attic bound with the first. Reborn. Revenged. Redeemed.
Close.
The wedding's echo faded. $300K folly to family forged. Rip. 10 now. Raced ahead on the path. Race you home. I ran. Wind in hair. Hudson gleaming benign. Twins forever, but this time, I led.